The Cabal sits at a table awaiting Osborn's arrival. Namor says he isn't accustomed to waiting, and Emma Frost tells him that she knows and asks him to wait a bit longer. While they wait, Lady Loki says that Loki will not wait much longer. During this time, a question is raised for Doctor Doom. Hood, who is new to the game and whose power is of a dark and mystical origin, explains he has been doing a lot of deep, intense reading. He has been discovering a lot about the underworld and demonology, and mentions that he read something about Doctor Doom. He asks Doom if it's true that his mother was taken from him by a lower demon spirit, which he eventually battled, won against, and set her free. He asks again if this is true, but Dr. Doom remains silent. Hood continues, saying that he loves Doom and is a big fan, asking once more and adding that it's truly amazing. Emma Frost speaks up and tells Hood that if he isn't picking up on the social cues, Doom is going to kill him if he doesn't stop talking. Hood puts his hands on the table and says that he just wants to know. He read it in a hidden text and was too curious not to ask. Doom finally speaks up and tells Hood that his mother's name will not be spoken by him, Parker Robbins. Hood stutters and says that he was just wondering if Doom managed to beat the demon or not. Doom says that he has, and now he wants Hood to shut his mouth. Hood doesn't stop here. He asks if what he said is true, then what makes Doom Doom? Hood brings up the fact that Doom has a whole country and a castle. He rules an entire country. He probably has more money than all the people combined at the table. So if it isn't money and it isn't power, because now they know that he has enough of that to free his mom's soul from the devil, Hood wonders what drives Doom to do all of this. Everyone looks at Doom, and suddenly, he banishes Hood to India. Before the second superhero war, Tony Stark used a powerful suit to protect the world as Iron Man. For his own reasons, Dr. Doom assisted Iron Man in averting several world-ending catastrophes. But the second Civil War had dire consequences for Tony Stark, which left Doom's mysterious mission unfinished. Diablo cooks up a potion while ranting about how he wasn't on the top-tiered, super-powered terrorist list. He admits that his ego was bruised, and that they live in a time where people only care about what you have done lately. He says that he thinks he hasn't done much lately, so what he is about to do now will definitely bring his name up again. He has kidnapped the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but this is just the start. An appetizer, as Diablo says. Diablo pries open Miss Hill's mouth and says that he is about to feed her his truth serum. It's a concoction that should easily counteract whatever high command S.H.I.E.L.D. gives her in case of such events. Diablo wants Miss Hill to give him all the security code clearances for each of the active helicarriers and the Triskelion. As he is about to pour the serum into her mouth, he says that the only person who has ever gotten the best of him is Reed Richards, and as of now, he is nowhere to be found. Suddenly, a man arrives, and Diablo recognizes the man's voice. The man reminds Diablo of the time he felt the cold steel of his hand around his spindly throat when he once tried to cross him and failed miserably. The man is Dr. Doom. A fight ensues between the two. Diablo spawns his little minions, which Doom easily defeats. Diablo gets angry and says that someone needs to scar that smug new face of Dr. Doom's all over again. In one blow, Diablo is obliterated by Dr. Doom, who continues to make his way to Miss Hill. He tells her that she should tell no one about this incident, as it is best for her reputation and her organization that she was subdued by a troll. Miss Hill is taken aback. Victor and Amara have a conversation. Amara is amused at how Victor has this way of coming back to life after faking his own death. Victor says that it was televised and is true. He can't speak to anything else. He apologizes because he knows Amara has conflicting feelings about Tony Stark. Amara asks Victor why he came here, and he responds that he came to see how her work fighting Alzheimer's is coming along. Amara isn't too sure if what Victor is saying is true. She asks him the true reason for his arrival and why he set her up with a lab. She asks him what he wants from her. Victor, aka Dr. Doom, says that he was concerned and came to say he believes what Amara told him was right and that he was trying to make up for the horrible things he has done in his lifetime. Amara tears up, asking why he is here and what he wants from her. Dr. Doom leans in and says that Amara reminds him of someone before he vanishes. Amara is taken aback and startled when she hears someone calling for her. They ask her if she has recently come into contact with someone named Victor Von Doom. Amara asks who is asking, and it's Grimm, an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. He introduces himself as a big deal and asks Amara if she has seen him recently. Amara is left with her mouth wide open. Doom visits Tony Stark, and Tony asks why he is here since there is nothing Victor can't build himself. Victor says that he will pick up Tony's mantle and become Iron Man. He adds that he is not asking for permission, and it needs to be done. In Washington, D.C., Ben Grimm breaks in and asks if he can speak to Victor Von Doom. The men inside aren't too happy about this and tell Grimm that it is an outrageous breach of protocol. Grimm says he knows that and he was waiting in the lobby, but he doesn't want to do that anymore. Grimm yells out for Doom, but security, not pleased with his behavior, were persistent in locking him up. Grimm asks them about a vase nearby. They explain that the vase belonged to the founder of their country, is hundreds of years old, and represents all of Latveria's history. It is absolutely priceless. Grimm doesn't care and knocks the vase over. The guards shoot at Grimm, but it has no effect on him. Scared, the security stutters and says that they don't know where Doom is since he abandoned his leadership of them. Grimm knocks over another vase and is persistent in finding out where Doom is. Victor makes his way to Julius's house with a proposition for him. He takes a computer from Julius and wants to pull it apart and examine it. In return, he will spare Julius's life. Julius can't believe he would see the day when Doom would be a sellout. Julius shoots, but Doom takes no damage, so he presses a red button that brings out some robots to counter Doom. Doom suits up, and while not exhilarated to waste the potential of Julius, respects each to their own. After swiftly putting an end to both Julius and his robots, he heads outside, sees two kids, and tells them that it would be good if they don't make their way toward Julius's house, and then disappears. He comes back to save the kids and tells them that he's new to saving people. Amara makes her way to her house and is startled when someone calls her name. She immediately shoots, shocked to see Doom behind her, and apologizes. She proposes to take him to the hospital, but he just wants a glass of water. Amara says that she will pay for his suit, but he says that she can't and adds that he has never threatened her nor laid a finger on her, so she should put the gun away. Amara helps Doom take his coat off and tells him that he isn't the reason why she carries a gun around. It's because the rock guy, Grimm, who recently came around asking for Doom. Doom tells Amara that she will never see him again. And before he can even finish, Grimm breaks through the wall and an epic fight ensues. Cynthia performs a magic ritual, but is interrupted and told that it concerns her son. He has met with an old friend. Back to the fight. Doom quickly suits up, blocks one of Grimm's punches with his hands, and throws him outside. Grimm sees Doom's suit and scoffs. Doom tries to explain that he is a different person now, but Grimm insists that nothing has changed. Doom is still Doom, and Grimm is still Grimm. Amara wakes up in an unfamiliar room and looks outside the window, still stressed and scared. She is inside a castle and makes her way downstairs where she sees Doom meditating. Amara is shocked and asks Doom how long she was out. Doom tells her that she was sleeping for 14 hours and that it was a much needed rest. Amara, still shocked, asks Doom what day it is and where she is. Doom simply tells her that she is safe and that there is nothing to go back to. Amara isn't too happy that Doom trashed her house and kidnapped her, but Doom corrects her, telling her that he defended her home and rescued her from any harm. Amara is still not convinced. She asks him if she can go back, and he tells her that she is free to go. But now S.H.I.E.L.D. knows that both of them are connected. Amara insists that they aren't, but Doom tells her that in their eyes, they are. Doom tells her that for now, they are in Switzerland, where there's food and clean clothes. Amara can't go back, but she still wants to know one thing. Why is Victor no longer Dr. Doom? And why is he obsessed with replacing Tony Stark? Doom makes a shocking statement. He was God. He tells Amara that he was homeless, living in the woods with his dark witch mother. After that, he never looked back and made himself a king. He made himself a leader, a scientist, and a sorcerer. At one point, he controlled space and time, and the world looked to him, and only him, as their one true god. But ultimately, it all failed because it took all of that to discover that God is not man, and man is not God. Doom was considered a god, yet he was unchanged. He wasn't one with the universe. He wasn't content. So he fell back to Earth to rethink his purpose in life. He thought that if the act of ultimate power was not his calling, then maybe the opposite could be true. He admired Tony Stark, and when Tony fell, the elders of the cosmos were telling him what form his penance would need to take. He would be Iron Man. Amara isn't too happy after hearing this and demands to go back home, and Dr. Doom complies. Grimm, however, is not too pleased that Doom slipped out of his grasp. As he explores the ruins, he notices that stones are falling off his body and encounters Doom's mother. At the floating world headquarters of the UN Peacekeeping Task Force, Miss Hill is informed that Victor Von Doom is here and awaiting her arrival. Seeing the expression on Doom's face, she tells her force to take down the bubble and lower their weapons. DEFCON protocol over, she says. She tells her force that since Doom isn't scared, it isn't necessary to do all this. She meets with Doom and asks him, "To what do I owe the honor of you freaking us all out?" He responds that he thought it would be best if they talked in person and didn't want to do it over a call because it would force Hill to put together a full-scale manhunt to track his call, wasting valuable SHIELD resources that could be used for actual concerns, and it would just waste their time. So instead, he came in 2 minutes, and now he is talking to Hill. Hill says hi and continues, "You're under arrest." Doom says the reason he came here is to tell her not to worry about him and that he will be of help to her from now on. Hill tells Doom that this isn't how it works and that he is the most wanted criminal in the world, an international concern. Doom tells Hill to take Grimm off his case, but she refuses. He also tells her to leave Amara alone, and she has nothing to do with him. Doom asks her where Grimm is, and she responds that she doesn't know. One of the people from her task force says that he is in Latveria, not knowing Hill was hiding his location. Doom takes his leave while the woman from the force gets fired. Doom heads to Latveria, and some kids call him Iron Man, telling him that no one needs him here while they hold guns in their hands. Doom takes the guns away from them and tells them to go to school. The kids ask, "What school?" Iron Man makes his way to where Grimm is and gets caught up with some shady people. They shoot at him and he casts a spell on their leader, making him relive a very painful and realistic nightmare that will play on loop in his mind's eye until he chooses to make it stop. Anyone who doesn't choose to answer his questions will join the nightmare world. He asks them where General Karadik is. Doom meets with the general and tells him that he left him in charge to rebuild Latveria, but he has done the opposite. Doom says that he left the general in charge of the country's military because the general agreed to a free state. After some argument, Doom finally meets Grimm and sees his mother. Grimm wakes up wondering where all his rocks went and thinks, "Did I dream that whole thing?" Hill interrupts and says she wishes. "That would make my job so much easier," before asking him the last place he was. He says that he was at Doom's secret lab. He asks if either Doom or his mom were there when they found him, and Hill says no. She's surprised to find out that Doom has a mom and reads her file, which says that she died when he was a kid. "It seems like she didn't," says Grimm. He continues saying he saw her, yapped at her, and she laid him out. His story continues, and he says that his mom cast a spell on him to make him think he was falling apart. Then he continues, "And then he showed up and... oh no. Doom saved my life." He reminisces about the fight between Doom and his mother. Doom wasn't too happy to see his mom. He couldn't believe she was alive. His mom demanded she take his mask off, but he didn't. She tells him that she didn't want to meet him before because he was Dr. Doom. Now, she wants to because she isn't ashamed of him anymore. At Cambridge University, Amara encounters the police, who ask her where Doom took her after his fight with Grimm. Amara isn't happy that this is all happening because Doom fancied her, and no one bothered to ask her if she wanted any of this. As she talks, she receives a letter from the Chancellor's office. They are asking her to leave the university ASAP. As the police remain persistent, Amara snaps. I don't know where he is, and I don't know what he wants. What I want is my life to go back to what it was before Tony Stark and all of you came." The police take their leave, asking her to tell them if she meets with Doom anytime soon. As soon as they leave, Doom arrives. He thanks Amara for not sharing the details of their personal interactions. Victor tells Amara that he met his mother after a long time, but she isn't interested in hearing it. "I am sorry I have brought turmoil to your life. Truly I am," he continues, saying he will fix all of this and that his intentions were otherwise. "What happened with your mother?" asks Amara. Doom asks his mother why she didn't stop him if he shamed her. and she responds that it's because she loves him. She tells him they will finish the fight another day when he is more inclined. Amara realizes that Doom is being serious and tells him that whatever he wants from her, he can't have, because she can't fix him. She can't even fix herself. A lifetime ago at the State University, Richard is told to go away by Doom. As they talk a bit more, Richard asks, "Why do you hate me?" Doom responds that it's because he's as insipid as the rest of them and is worse in some ways. Richard says that he heard through the grapevine that Doom is attempting to build a machine to communicate with the dead. Richard realizes that Doom wants to talk to his mother, and Doom tells him not to speak of something he knows nothing about. Richard doesn't want to fight. After Richard keeps yapping, Doom gets angry and yells at him to be gone. In the present day, Doom is known as a big problem. Wizard talks about Doom, not knowing he is standing right behind him. A fight breaks out, and the duo fight with all their might. Wizard swears that he never liked Doom. Doom is about to crash, but he regains his stability before he heads off. Commander Carter is told that Doom is on the grid in Pittsburgh. She says that if he hurts the Primanti brothers, she is going to kill him dead. Back to Iron Man, his mom and Reed don't believe that this is Victor since he doesn't get distracted. Reed would normally agree, but Doom has been undergoing quite a few life changes. Reed tells Cynthia to leave him be for now and stick to the plan. Doom is met by Sharon Carter, the commander of S.H.I.E.L.D. Doom is now under arrest. If he doesn't remove his armor, he will be killed immediately. He says he will only speak to Miss Hill, but is told that she is no longer with the organization. Doom also advises Carter to be more subtle, because what she is doing right now will not work. The city will be damaged, and she will be blamed. Doom disappears like magic before Carter's eyes. Wizard tells everyone that Doom has gone straight, and everyone is reluctant to believe what he just said. They don't care about anything, and Hood wants to whack him as a group tonight. Jigsaw Bubby speaks up and tells Hood that he always tries to make a name for himself. Things take a turn when suddenly Dr. Doom in the flesh arrives. Hood shoots at him, but Doom takes no damage. A man comes to turn himself in, saying he witnessed it with his own eyes. I mean, these were no small potatoes. These were big leaguers. He mopped the floor with all of them. He knew who would be there and exactly what he needed to do to take us all out, one by one. Like, I saw. He killed all of them. Doom had told him to change his ways and repent. If not, I will come back and destroy you. The man is told that everyone survived. All of them are going to be behind a concrete wall, serving time. Doom and Grimm have a meeting where Doom apologizes to Grimm. He says that he misses Reed and Sue, that Reed was a genius and Sue was as close to a perfect soul as he has ever met. He admits that he is ashamed that he was unable to appreciate that while they were here. Grimm says he won't believe him, not after everything he has seen Doom do. Doom admits to owing Grimm a lifetime of gratitude and hopes that one day Grimm can appreciate it and call on him for help, but he knows he has a long way to go before that. After leaving, Grimm has an encounter with Reed. Williams makes her way to Latveria to confront Doom at his house. When she arrives, the house is in ruins, and she wonders what happened. As she considers what to do next, she notices some armor and decides to take it back home to use its parts. Suddenly, she is taken aback to see that Doom is actually there. She asks him to take off his mask, and he complies. She confesses that she came to find clues to locate him, but she has already found him. She tells him that he can't be Iron Man and urges him to stop. In Manhattan, Grimm is having a talk with Reed. Reed keeps talking, but Grimm wears a grim expression. Grimm gets up and asks who he really is. Reed insists that he is truly himself, but Grimm is taken aback and says that it can't be, to which Reed responds, it is. Williams tells Doom that she is here to stop him from making a mockery of Tony Stark's legacy. Doom advises her to return to MIT and continue her studies. He then explains that the reason he came here was because of Lucellus Virgil McWhorter, a frontiersman who did groundbreaking documentation on Native American tribes. It was through his work that people discovered everything in this world possesses a singular consciousness, and it is these spirit guides that link us to the invisible worlds. Doom says he had a quest. He believes in the future, perhaps in an alien or another plane, and thinks he has been contacted by the future, a world far more potent than our own. using technologies far beyond what corporations allow for this generation. He has no idea what it is or where it came from. He was just a witness. It happened during a fight. Grimm asks Reed if Sue is alive, and Reed tells him that she is, but he has no idea where she is. Grimm then asks Reed where he has been, and Reed responds, "Ben, you have to do something I have never asked you to do." He tells Grimm that he has to kill Doom no matter the cost. Meanwhile, Doom asks Williams to use all of her might to blast at him, but it doesn't affect him. He tells her to try again. The scene switches to Doom, who is now encountered by Tony Stark. Tony asks Doom if he is okay. "I honestly don't know how to answer that, Stark," says Doom. Tony tells Doom that he doesn't have much time and asks him if he can see around him, if he can see New York. Tony tells Doom that he can't be Iron Man and that he needs to stop. Before vanishing, Tony warns Doom that someone is after him. Johnny meets with Grimm and explains his encounter with Reed. He has no information about Susan, Johnny's sister. Johnny isn't sure that the person Grimm met was actually Reed. He wonders if it was a shapeshifter. After Johnny leaves, Grimm gets a call from S.H.I.E.L.D. and is informed that Doom is in custody. Carter thanks Williams for bringing Doom. Williams confesses that Doom was just passed out in front of her, so she brought him along. Carter tells Williams that she should go back home, as she will probably receive a call from the president soon. Williams heads back home. Grimm arrives at the scene, and they go to meet with the highly sedated Doom. His mother arrives and says that she made it clear to Grimm to stay away from her son, but he didn't listen. Now, she brings a floating ship to the ground. Doom wakes up to find his mother before him and is now convinced that the woman before him is actually his mother. "And now that you finally begin to believe me, I have something it is long time to show you. I will show you the real true birthright of Victor Von Doom." In Latveria many years ago, Doom's mother shows him what she can do, although she thinks he is too young to see it. She tells him that she is a sorcerer and is working with energies and ideas that are far beyond the people who call her a witch. She wants her son to sacrifice a rabbit today to summon the Elder Demon. She hands Doom a knife and tells him not to worry about it. This is the creature's purpose. Doom drops the knife, and his mother calls him a coward. Back in the present, Doom asks his mother where they are. She tells him that this is her workplace. Doom has too many questions in his mind right now. He tells his mother to stop being mysterious and to tell him everything. His mother tells him that this place is called the Tear. She tells her son that he hasn't been kidnapped and that he is with his mother right now. In the Atlantic Ocean, there is chaos after Doom got taken by his mother and the ship fell. Meanwhile, the mother and son meditate. During this, his mother asks him about the plan and why he needs to be Iron Man. He says that he is keeping Iron Man alive for Tony Stark. He asks his mother to teach him something that he can use. In Latveria, Grimm makes his way to Doom's home, but encounters a child there. The child asks Grimm if the stones on his body hurt if they're taken off. Grimm responds that no one has ever asked that, and that the stones feel like nothing. He asks her what she is doing here. She says that she is looking for stuff to sell, and continues that she would do anything to bring Lord Doom back. "He protected us. He loved us. What do we have now?" says the child. Simultaneously, Doom is being taught about energy transference by his mother. While Grimm looks through Doom's belongings and finds an old photo of them together, he meets with Doom, who tells him to run out of Latveria. If you are who you say you are, then run. Doctor Strange is summoned in New York, and Carter introduces herself to him. They stand in front of a vault while Doctor Strange asks some questions. He asks if there are any updates since they last spoke, and if Doom has tried to escape. She tells him that there are no updates and he hasn't tried to escape. They greet each other, and Doom thanks him for coming himself as it saves him a trip. They start talking, and Doctor Strange asks him why he doesn't leave the planet. "If I felt like leaving this planet, I would have," says Dr. Doom. Doctor Strange tells him to be quiet as she is in the zone. "You're here, Victor, because you are scared. And if you're scared, I'm terrified," says Doctor Strange. "So, let us meditate." The duo is now in a realm where Doom will find his mother, Ben, and Reed. Someone makes a surprise appearance. "I'm Dr. Reed Richards of the Once Fantastic Four. I tried to call ahead." but I was told you have no traditional way to communicate to the outside world. Frankly, I'm jealous. The people start shooting at him, but he evades the attacks. He stresses that he is here to help with the Victor situation. Carter asks Doctor Strange and Doom for help, since Reed is having an intense fight with Ben right now. Reed isn't actually Reed. He's Mephisto, the Lord of the Dark Realm. You have defied me and beaten me at every turn, Victor. I was willing to wait for you, but there is no way in hell that I'm going to sit back and let you worm your way out of your cursed fate. The person scheming against Victor Von Doom turns out to be Mephisto, not Mr. Fantastic or the Maker. Now, Mephisto battles Iron Man and Doctor Strange at S.H.I.E.L.D.'s Project Pegasus base. Mephisto pauses the battle to address the readers directly. He admits that he hadn't anticipated Strange's involvement. Strange was supposed to be occupied elsewhere, and even if he wasn't, helping someone as evil as Doom seemed beneath him. But Strange has always been a goody two-shoes, and his soul is beyond Mephisto's reach. Still, Mephisto isn't about to let Doom escape his grasp by turning over a new leaf. Doom has spent his life committing evil acts, including destroying the multiverse and ruling the remnants. Worse, he once bested Mephisto to save his mother's soul with Strange's help. Mephisto had hoped one of the heroes would kill Doom, giving him 2 souls instead of 1. But now, he has broken the cosmic rules by stepping in personally, and none of the other cosmic entities cared to intervene. Mephisto reveals that he had been masquerading as the Maker in previous issues. He also confirms that Cynthia Von Doom wasn't really Victor's mother, but a construct of his own creation. His plan was to derail Doom's redemption arc so thoroughly that Doom would eventually take his own life. That part hasn't happened, but the rest of the plan is still in motion. Realizing he's going to lose the fight and be scattered across dimensions, Mephisto resumes time and accepts his fate. The Thing instructs Commander Sharon Carter to get her S.H.I.E.L.D. agents to safety. Doctor Strange uses the Crimson Bands of Kyttorak as Doom prepares for the kill. But first, Doom demands to know what Mephisto has done with his mother. The devil doesn't reveal the truth we know, and Doom's mystic blast tears him apart. As Mephisto disintegrates, Cynthia appears to Victor, confused. Strange tries to explain that she is not real, but Victor is devastated as she dissolves away. Thing and Carter rejoin them, and she declares Doom under arrest. Victor responds that she could arrest him and place him with the 42 supercriminals he recently apprehended for her. Or she could let him go take down a Hydra science island after a few hours of recovery. But first, Doom and Strange confirm that the Reed Richards who recently visited Ben Grimm was actually Mephisto, who was messing with his mind just to trouble Doom. In other words, Ben has another reason to blame Victor. He raises his fist to strike, but Doom teleports him away. The Thing materializes on the balcony of an apartment in Amsterdam, where he finds a note from Victor stating that the place is his whenever he wants it. A bottle of whiskey and a glass are waiting. Sharon asks Strange where Ben has gone. He says that Doom could have sent him anywhere or anywhen, considering he has a time machine. She instructs her team to contact Agent Grimm, but Doctor Strange believes that Doom hasn't done anything harmful to his old enemy. Sharon also wants reassurance that the devil they faced wasn't the real one, but Strange doesn't have a comforting answer for her. However, Doom may still deliver the Hydra base as promised. We see Doom defeating an entire Hydra army. Meanwhile, on Rikers Island, the 42 convicts Doom captured are plotting their revenge. In a doctor's office, Amara Pereira receives news that she is expecting a child.